G'day everybody, it's Kim here from Kyms Homestead with you once again with What's to Eat. This is week 7 of my 6-month pantry challenge. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're starting off once again with Wednesday, and today was a salada on tomato. Then to start tea, I just fried up some sausages. They were really nice too. And then I decided to have scrambled eggs and toast with the sausages. And rather than dirty up another pan, once I cooked the sausages, it only took a few minutes to do the eggs. I just threw them on top of all that goodness that the sausages left. One thing about cooking sausages, they're hard to turn. They tend to go like a banana shape and then they won't turn, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, we got there in the end. Just got to persevere. And yes, unfortunately, they got a little black on one side, as they do, because they wouldn't turn properly. Now that they're done, I'll go and put them to one side. I usually put them in the oven to keep nice and hot while I'm doing the rest of tea. I'm just pouring off all the excess fat that the sausages left behind. I don't particularly want all that in my eggs. So I've got the eggs all mixed up here. It's time to just give them another quick boil and then pour them into the pan. Now that was just eggs, salt and pepper and a little bit of milk. And of course it doesn't take long for those eggs to soon cook up. Couple of swipes of the spatula and they'll be about done. See, nearly done already. And nearly ready for dishing up. And there we go. All done, ready for dishing up. And here we have the final product. Doesn't that look nice? Thursday. Well, I wasn't feeling the best on this day, so I just had some rock melon for lunch. And for tea time, I decided on creamy bacon carbonara and some chicken legs. So I'm just heating up the oven here, ready to cook the chicken legs. And they're just defrosting and coming out of the microwave. no, I don't think that tray will do. So I go and get another different tray. So here we have the fryer that I'm going to be using, and it's just a silicone cake tray with a little trivet in the centre, and I find it's pretty good for frying up the chicken in the air fryer or the oven, which is now the air fryer as well. So I just put them out and put the bag in the sink ready for washing. I like to wash out the bags because otherwise the blowflies tend to get in and lay maggots all through my bin, which is not a fun experience. So now I'm just getting some spices. A little bit of salt and pepper. Of course, you got to spray it down with a bit of oil first to make sure it actually sticks on there. There we go, the little bit of salt. Just basic seasonings. A little bit of pepper. Not too much. Just a little bit. And a little bit of paprika to give it some nice colour. I also like paprika. And there we go. All ready for the oven. And in it goes. Now I've got the temperature on about 220, so that'll take around the 25 minutes to cook. I'll do 15 minutes one side and about 10 on the other side. Now I'm cooking the carbonara, and I've got a big dob of butter in the pot with a cup of milk. Now I just open up the packet of carbonara, and I'm just waiting for the butter to melt a little bit. It won't take long, it only takes a few minutes and it's all incorporated. I've also got to add about 3/4 of a cup of hot water. A little more than 3/4 of a cup actually. It's a big packet and I didn't want it to dry out. I don't like dry carbonara. So I did add a little more than what the packet said. And time to give it a bit of a stir. And once that comes up to a simmer, I'll just pop the lid on and let it cook for about 10 minutes. And then I just turn the heat off and just let it sit there soaking up the carbonara until it's all ready to be dished up. Here we are coming to a boil, so I turn it right down and I pop the lid on, probably after a minute or two, and then I just let it more or less sit and very lightly simmer until it's ready. So it doesn't take long for it to come up to the boil at all. Only a few minutes. Time to put the lid on. And there we go. Pasta's a bit hard on the bottom to begin with, but as it starts to absorb the liquids, it'll soon soften up. I'm just making sure that there's no parts there where there's pasta stuck to the bottom of the pot. Nothing worse than burnt pasta. Yuck. Now ready for dishing up. So here we are with the chicken out of the oven, and it's a beautiful colour. Some lovely chicken legs there. And they were very, very tasty too. Then I just pour out the chicken fat into my little fat container and put some water in the bottom of it to soak. Now here we are with the creamy carbonara. See, it's nice and moist. There's lots of liquid there, which is what I like. I don't like it dry. It's horrible dry. Too hard to eat and swallow. And I actually had enough for leftovers, so that was good. And on Friday, well, Friday was pretty easy sort of lunch or brunch. It was just a poached egg and some little soldiers is what I call them, or slices of bread. I've got these little poachers that do a wonderful job. Just put them in and pop them in the pot, and next minute you got poached egg. And yes, I know it's a lot of butter, but you've got to have it slip down somehow. Toast is one of those dry things that sort of really get stuck in your throat, and there's nothing worse because when you cough you pee yourself. So now I'm just wondering where to put it on my plate. There we go. Poached egg, spoon, and 2 slices of soldier toast. And for tea I really didn't feel like much, so it was just some rock melon. And on Saturday, once again, I had poached egg and toast. Now for tea, I decided on having a nice easy tea, so I just air fried a couple of nice lamb loin chops. This time I used all-purpose seasoning, which is one of my go-to seasonings. And a little bit of toast with lots of stuff to slip it down, and some baked beans. Now this was a pretty easy tea. So you got lots of protein from both the chop and the baked beans. And there we are with the loin chop. Gosh, they've got expensive. $29 a pound now, or a kilo. Unreal. Sunday. Started off with a cucumber sandwich, and then I had just some vegetables and a little bit of pork chop. Monday. Started off with another egg on toast. And for tea this night, I decided just to have just a little bit of cream of chicken soup. Now I'm running fairly low on the canned cream of chicken soup, so I decided to open up a packet of dry stuff. See how that went and see whether I liked it that much. If I did, then when the challenge is over, I'll stock up on a bit more rather than the canned stuff. It didn't take long and it was up to boil and ready for putting into my soup cup. So it only filled the soup cup halfway. But it was certainly enough, and with it I had a couple of slices of bread to dip into the soup, and it was very nice. And on Tuesday I decided to use up the rest of that packet of cream of chicken soup and make a chicken casserole that would actually last a couple of nights. Now, of course, I needed Princess Patches to tell me what to do and how to make it. She was very cooperative. So here I'm just chopping up some garlic, and it's one of my own garlic heads, which is a great big bulb, and I only needed half of it, thankfully. And in front of me I've got a chicken thigh fillet thawing out. Then I decided on half an onion, and this one was a little difficult to peel. Normally they're pretty good, but this one, it was quite stubborn. The paper would not come off. Princess Patches was telling me how to get it off, but I was being stubborn and said, no, I know how to do it. So she said, all right, you do it then, boss, and I'm out of here. She doesn't much care for the smell of onion either. So I decided to just dice it all up. Nice and small. I didn't want great big chunks in the casserole. The only time I like great big chunks is when it's a stir fry. So I decided to keep the peels because I'm going to be making lamb bone broth. So I need something to flavour it. And of course the onion went into a little onion keeper, and I decided to put the garlic there as well. And the carrots, a couple of carrots for the stew and the peels for the lamb broth. top and tail. There we go. That's ready for the freezer. Chop it up into nice little sort of bite-sized pieces. Just be careful of the runaways, and into the pot. And I've got to use up some of this capsicum, so a piece of that went in there as well. Then I decided to chop up the chicken into nice bite-sized pieces as well. Princess Patches came back for that one. I think she was hoping to get a morsel, but once I give her any, she decides, nah, I don't like it, and I certainly wasn't going to waste any on her. Now I'm just mixing up the rest of that cream of chicken soup into some cold water, about a cupful, and into my little crock pot. And now it's turned on. Now this is in the morning, so it's lunchtime now, and I decided to have another can of cream of chicken soup and some bread for lunch. But first of all, I've got to cut up the rest of this capsicum ready for the freezer before it starts growing legs and walking out of the fridge. And I got a full bag out of what was there. I was quite pleased with it. This is all homegrown capsicum, so certainly no need to waste any of it. And all ready for the freezer. Now here I'd gone to visit my sister, and right near her place is a it's a banana passion fruit, I think it is. Nobody picks it, nobody gives a two hoots about it, so I decided to pick what fruit there was ripe and use it myself. I didn't want to use it straight away. It's a beautiful red colour, so I decided to put it in little freezer punnets, and I picked a nice heart-shaped one, and I can use that with my baking or desserts or jellies or whatever I want through the year, and it'll be there for when I want it. Maybe a nice cheesecake. Now that would be nice. There we go. I got 5 little things out of it, and so I had that and the capsicum and what I had for the chicken broth ready for the freezer. Now I'm just mixing up my lunch, getting all the goodness out of the can, and of course diluting the soup with just a little bit of water, not much. Ready for the microwave. And here's our chicken soup, and here is our chicken casserole. Well, I can tell you now that chicken casserole was delicious, and I'm going to be having it again on toast tonight for tea. So spoiler alert for next week. Anyway, so that's it for this video. A little bit of meal making, a little bit of preserving, and a little bit of cooking. So I hope you enjoyed week 7 of What's to Eat, and I'll be bringing you week number 8 next Wednesday. That will be the end of a 2-month pantry challenge, so I'll only have another 4 months to go. So anyway, I will catch you again next Wednesday with What's to Eat. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big chickeny thumbs up, and if you like my channel, please think about subscribing. That would be wonderful. Alright, bye for now, friends. I'll catch you again soon.